when you look at this 5th generation Honda CR-V, does it look different to you? Maybe a little bit higher than normal? If you think so, you'd be right, because this actually has a 2¼ inch lift. I apologize for squinting, it's a little bright. My name's Uncle Jake. That over there, that man is the famous Dr. Torque. And we did it by putting an 1¾ inch lift by LP Adventure. Adventure. We'll put a link in the description. And then we put an inch taller tires, which, since that's split, of course, gives you ½ inch of height on the bottom. And the reason I really like this right here is because I believe it looks like it came from the factory. Now, the 5th generation actually has an inch lift from the previous, so it's starting to get in a pretty respectable height. I mean, look at the clearance on this baby. You can practically take it out jumping, don't you think?
We'll never know until we try.
That's right. So we didn't film the install on this because we were doing that prior to the channel, which we started a couple years ago, a year and a half ago, a year and 3/4 ago, a little bit of time ago. And so, yeah, and yet some of the most popular videos that we have are on this particular Honda CR-V. So we thought we'd just show you what it looks like and what else we did, including check out this really sweet bumper. Well, it's not a bumper guard. What is this? What do you even call that?
I don't know. Sort of a brush guard, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. It's sort of cool and sort of awesome.
LP Adventure's website and see what it's called.
Yeah, and when if you like that, you can just get the guard, or you can get this plate that goes on as well. And there it is, LP Adventure right there. And we added those really sweet lights. Those boys are up out of Canada, up in the right side of Canada. What's it?
Great White North.
Yeah, the Great White North. Yeah, up on the right-hand side of it. So what we're going to do is pull this forward and get it up on some blocks so we can get in there and show you exactly what we did. And here's the thing. When you're looking for lifts for Hondas, they're hard to find. If you're looking for lifts for Subaru, millions of them. Even Toyotas, there's like tons, but it was really hard to find one for this Honda, for the CR-Vs. And this is a company that makes this an all-in-one kit. I really like it. They claim it's all-in-one, but there were some important parts that we had to get, because it did not just work as advertised, did it?
Well, it lifted the vehicle all by itself. You just couldn't align it when you were done.
Yeah. Pesky little problem. So let us show you what we did. Let's pull this forward. All right, we've got a change of clothes so we can get down and dirty, although this man was already ready. And we've backed it in because we're going to lift up the back, but we'll start with the front and what we had to do on the front, and then we'll go from there. So on the front, Dr. Torque, why don't you walk us through a couple of the yield steps? We're probably going to change sides. You're very silhouetted. Aha, there you go. Perfect. Beautiful.
So basically the whole part of the actual lift on the front is a spacer that goes on top of the struts. So you have to pull the struts out and then put a spacer on and then reinstall the strut. The instructions go through all the steps necessary. And then because you've lifted it, a couple of other things need to be extended. One is the sway bar has an extension that goes on it. And then we think that, this is a couple years ago, that there was also an extension for the brake line bracket.
I think so too. Yeah, let me show you a couple things here. And we'll talk about what, this is the great thing about it being after the fact. Let me pop the old hood here. Is that I could tell you how it's affected the performance and handling and that type of thing. It's a heavy hood. It's got a lot of power under here.
Huh. Hopefully it has a lot of power because that hood weighs 300 pounds.
Exactly. Lots of power requires lots of hood strength.
Oh, maybe you should have washed this
I know. Oh, my wife's car should be like, why didn't you wash it? But let me, here, look the other way for a second. I said look the other way. So this is a spacer. The cool thing about this is it's got their logo engraved in there. You can get this. I do remember this. You can get that in black if you want it to be powder coated, or you could just have it stainless steel. I thought it looked really cool in the stainless steel. Personally, that's why I left it.
Is that aluminum?
Or aluminum? That's what I meant. No, is it?
Oh.
It's probably aluminum. As we say, we've got to spend a little while. But I liked it regardless. I think it looks really good. in there like that, and it was nice. Plus, it was a little bit less expensive, but that wasn't really the main reason. So that's the spacer. Obviously, you drop these studs, and you, well, actually, how would you explain that? We're not going to get into ultra detail. We're just going to run through this really quick on what we do.
Well, yeah, there's these studs here that hold the top of the strut in.
Yep.
And then down below, I think there's 2 bolts that go in that actually hold it onto the knuckle. Or whatever they're called on these things. And then you're able to drop the whole shmoo out. And we don't have to actually disassemble the coil spring and strut. You just bolt that spacer onto the top of it.
Onto the top, yeah.
And then
so you take the strut out. Yep, bolt that onto the top, and then that then goes up and you bolt it down. So let's see if you can see in here. Oh, watch your head, watch yourself. There you go. See, that is the extension for the sway bar right there. And I believe that there was an extension for the brakes, but really that's it. While we're up front here, let me show you and talk about the problem on this, because it's going to be an issue. When I took this down to get it aligned, the guys down there, the Schwabe boys, said, hey, we can't get this aligned. And what we found out is that when they redesigned this, they took some parts from the Honda Civic and they used them on this, but they lifted it. So essentially when they just did that lift, it's a loud vacuum. When they did the lift, it actually maxed out the camber. Am I saying that right? Yeah, because capture from a camber, that's the tilting in and out. So they apparently from the factory aren't exactly even zeroed out. It's slightly off. It's within tolerances. But that meant when we raised it, it was way, 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 way off. So Tom helped me find a part for that. And do you remember where you found that or what that was exactly?
It was a lower ball joint designed for additional camber. And I don't remember who manufactured it, but I think we got it from Jegs.
We got it from Jegs, and the thing that's important is it's positive or negative camber, and you buy those pieces, and they either add positive or they add negative. They don't add both, so you got to get the right one. And I'm pretty sure it wouldn't tilt out far enough, because as we lift it, it's tilted in. So what would that be if the wheel needs to go this way? What is that? Positive or negative camber?
Yep.
Okay, look, here's how I'm going to explain it to you.
I think this is positive, but I can't remember for certain.
Well, that's the way it was, and it needed to go more this direction. So you'll have to double check. I don't know. We'll find what parts we can, but let me show you what it is just so you know. Just so you know what you're getting into. It's this guy. It's this ball joint right there. See those 3 studs? I can't point and hold the camera and get into this thing. It's tight. But that's what was needed so we could adjust it more. And when we did that, the guys who did the alignment said it was more than sufficient. It was even extra. So that was really cool. So that's what it looks like under here. There, of course, is a shot of your extension. And I'm pretty sure there was something on those brake lines. I just can't remember. I can't remember, but it was just a little extension if it was. So, all right, let's move on to the back. On the back, we're just going to raise this up. It's just too tight under there. And check it out. We're also going to have another video coming up. If you want, we've installed a concealed trailer hitch here. But
didn't the hitch video already hit?
Oh, it probably did. Okay, well, you can go on our channel because we're doing all this at once, and we just did that. But if you have one of these CRVs that have the remote open from the, your back foot, you got to buy like a $600 part from Honda. It's called a relocation kit for the sensors. And what they tell you is that you have to move them to one side or the other. But you don't. These guys, this trailer hitch is supposed to come with a relocation kit. It didn't really, but I figured it out. And I could use the factory stock ones, and I can still open it from either side. So don't you let them scare you if you want to do a trailer hitch and it's concealed. And check it out. It looks really sweet. Not too shabby. You can okay, let's get this raised up so we can take a look at the underside of this, and I'll show you what you need to know, what's been on your mind this whole time.
Okay, so
so once again, we find ourselves under another vehicle, Dr. Torque. However, this one is just showing the work we already did. We're not digging into it. So this back was definitely more complicated than the front. So what should we do? How should we start on this? Like, there's a number of things we did.
Well, more or less what happens is you unbolt this entire rear thing. Everything that's black right here basically gets unbolted from the body. and then is lowered down, and then spacers go in. So like this little aluminum block right here.
That's one.
And this aluminum block right here. Two. And there's others that I can't see right now, but I'm sure there's something probably, I don't know, I can't feel everywhere, but.
Well, like I said, we did this a while ago, so we're just kind of showing you the overall what's and what fors.
And the instructions are really good. Read through them completely before you start. And then even when you're doing it like we did, we printed them all out and had them out here in the driveway while we're working on it.
There's a fair stack, but it's worth it.
And we could like look at it and go, okay, that's what this is now. Because you take a whole bunch of stuff apart before you start putting stuff back together.
Yeah, so how about you just print out, go to the print shop and do it, otherwise you use all your printer ink. But I think that's good advice. It helped a lot to be able to look at a part and turn the page around and change the angle and go, okay, that's the part. So, okay, so lots of spacers back here more than anything. But then, go ahead.
And then the same thing. We couldn't get the alignment shop couldn't get the alignment into phase as far as the camber was concerned. And it took me quite a while to find one, but I did find an actual adjustment thing you can buy. And it's this crescent-shaped thing right here is adjustable, and I think we got that also from Jerks.
Yeah, Jerks. But if you're new to the channel and you don't know why we keep saying Jerks like that, it's like because when you're listening to when you call them, it's got nice tuny music, and then suddenly somebody comes on and goes Jerks really loud, and it's very surprising, but it gets your attention. So that's what we do now. So, but yeah, that was an important piece. 2 of those. Without that, it just wasn't drivable.
And if you come over where I am and look through here, you can see where it hooks up on there. It's adjustable. You can see where it screws in and out, and it actually moves the top of the wheel in and out.
So SPC, you see this right there? Let me see if I can get you up in there. Hold on. There we go. See the adjustable bracket on that side. I can't pull it back. The back side, closest to the tire right there. That's the part that screws out to make it flat, which is really great. Ooh, what's your head on this thing? I put such a goose egg on my head.
I tried to be in your way for a while, but then I moved over.
Then you moved. So, yeah. So that is it. That seems pretty quick and pretty easy, doesn't it? I wouldn't say it's quite that quick or quite that easy. Well, I think we did this in 2 different sessions.
Did we?
Front. And then I think, did we do that?
I wouldn't have let you drive it around.
Oh, he might not have.
Partially lifted.
Okay.
Well, it would have, the alignment would have went way off.
Even worse.
But yeah, we did it all in an afternoon.
Oh, right, we did. Yes, never mind, we did.
Or we did it all in a 6 to 8 hour session on a Saturday morning / afternoon.
Yeah, we did. And then we were probably laying like this by the time I got done. But I really like it. It was really worth it. One of the things we always ask ourselves, and so we can answer for you, is, was this worth it? And I love it. I think it looks way better. He knows it was worth it too. And I think it looks better than it does factory. In fact, I was in one of the Honda dealers recently, and we probably Joel might have already posted earlier, but we got a picture of one that's stock and pictures of this one, and we'll put those up. And hey, check this out. Did you know this had like a little roll cage around the gas tank?
Are you getting distracted again?
Yeah. No, I just noticed that there was an interesting roll cage around the gas tank. So, yeah, that's pretty. All right, let's get out from under here. But I'm definitely going to give this a thumbs up. I am absolutely going to give the company that makes this a thumbs up, even though they claim everything's there and it's actually not. It's still the most complete, highest quality product I found for the Honda, period. And they're hard to find. So check out some of our other videos. If you got some issues with the warning lights on this one, we got fixes for that, a couple of those. We got lifted Honda ridge lines. If you ain't never seen one of those, you don't know what you're missing out on. On behalf of Motors and Mischief, it's Uncle Jake. That man over there is Dr. Torque. We're going to take you out the patent pen and fist bump of friendship, and we'll see you around. Whoop-ow!
That's how we know we can see you.
It's perfect, because yeah, if I can't see because the sun's so bright, then you could see me. Joel's probably like, not supposed to talk when you're doing this. Well, I'm doing it anyway, and I'm inserting myself into the frame. There it is.
Yeah, take that, Joel.
That's all right. Especially if it crashes.
Stand by.
Oh my gosh, I wasn't ready for that I didn't have any makeup. That's a reshoot. Reshoot.
And action.
And action.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Okay, let's try this again. Take 2. So quiet.
Everybody in their places?
It's really quiet. It doesn't sound like a 4-wheel drive at all.
Nope.
I'm ready. Squeak, squeak. Yeah, you got another foot.
Dude.
Okay, it's closer to 8 inches now.
That's close as my comfort. All right, everyone.
Oh, you just rolled back. You got a foot again.
That's a wrap. That's a wrap. I'm a professional. I only do 1 take after for the first 4. For a total of 5, and that doesn't count the second 5.
Patented headbutt on the hitch.
Yes.
Receiver. Bam!
Bam! Excellent work. Good job. Good job, everybody. Good job. Take a break, get some water, reset for the next scene.